All right, let's do it. Let's answer your questions. First up, a video one for Jenny on Walgreens from Frank in Pennsylvania.
Hello, I'm Frank from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. I'm currently long Walgreens WBA and I'm down. I believe Jenny Harrington is long Walgreens, and I'm interested in her opinion as I'm considering dollar cost averaging. Thank you.
All right, Jenny, what should Frank do?
Frank, this is such a hard one. On the one hand, you can look back to just a year ago when KKR was on the cusp of buying Walgreens for a $70 billion valuation. So you could almost say on a private market value, just a year ago, people thought this was worth twice what it was. On the other hand, we've seen real competition come in from online that really affects the front of the store sales. And then just this week, we saw Amazon step into the online pharmacy area. That's actually not going to have a huge impact on Walgreens sales, but it could start to impact a little bit more of the foot traffic, which would deteriorate even more the front of the store sales. So it's super hard. What I do know is that at 8 times earnings with an 11% free cash flow yield and a 5% dividend, it is too cheap. But I don't know what the right price is. I just know that it's too cheap now with a 5% dividend yield. It's a heck of a lot better than a bond, and you probably have some upside.
Okay. Jenny, thank you for that. Thanks for the question, Frank. Greg in Florida for Steve Weiss, Skyworks. Buy or sell?
It's a buy. Look at it this way. Skyworks, if you go back just a few years, 100% of their business went into smartphones. 51% of their business comes from Apple. Now, 30% of the business goes elsewhere. Your Peloton bike, Skyworks chip. Your autonomous car, Skyworks chip. Your private 5G network in 17 NFL stadiums, Skyworks chips. And on the Apple iPhone, the dollar content for Skyworks has doubled and is tripling with the new accessories and with also the new functionality. So you want to buy Skyworks, significant discounts of the market. It shouldn't be there despite growing much faster than the market.
All right, Pete, got one for you from Evitz in Knoxville, Tennessee. BP or Chevron? You have exposure in both. Chevron stock, BP calls, and we talked about Marathon Oil, so you do have some exposure in the patch. What about these?
Yeah, I have some definite exposure in the energy space. I will say this. I think the reason that I have the stock in terms of Chevron is I think from a quality perspective, I think Mr. Wirth does an unbelievable job. You look at their balance sheet, it's phenomenal. Now, are they struggling? Sure, they're struggling. Is oil dead just yet? Not quite just yet, Scott. So I think for a variety of reasons, of these two names, I still think the quality name stands out for me as Chevron. I love BP. I think they do an awesome job. I think they've stepped it up enormously over time, especially given the circumstances that they're all having to deal with as oil prices have been all over the place, but specifically closer to $40. I think Chevron's the name to own.
Okay. Lastly, Shannon, I got one for you from Mike in California going into the holiday season. Activision or Electronic Arts?
Mike, it's a great question. We're really entering into perhaps a super cycle for gaming here, with tailwinds being new consoles, the Christmas season. Santa loves to get video games for Christmas. I think that for us, we like EA over Activision. This is actually my final trade maybe last week. We like EA because there is that cash flow, recurring cash flow aspect of it through the Madden and FIFA franchises. Activision has Call of Duty, but that tends to be more big hits, a bit chunkier on the performance side. So we prefer EA going into the holiday season.
Okay, I got a bonus one for you, Weiss. It just came in, too. It's from Joe in East Hampton. Why are you laughing, Pete? It's a serious question. It's from Joe in East Hampton, New York. Is Lulu a must-buy for the Christmas season? We should note again that our own Courtney Gibson just joined the board of Lulu, but I think you sold. Didn't you sell the stock?
I did. I did. And the reason Pete's laughing is you need a sense of humor to dress like that. But here's the story with Lulu. I love it. There's a moat around the business. Courtney going on the board is only going to be positive for that company. She's got great capital markets background. We know she's got great judgment on what makes a company work. But look, I equivocate in this. I think I'll get another chance to buy it. Like you asked on the consumer earlier, I think the consumer is not necessarily tapped out, but bored. How many more Lulu pants do you need? So, and particularly not going anywhere. So love the company, love the product, don't really love the stock price.